You mentioned two things which are interesting. The first thing is a landing page. Do you recommend multiple landing pages? It seems terribly hard for me to build like a bunch of... I can hardly remember to get my own site right, never mind 10 of them. But a lot of people seem to say it all the way through.
If it makes sense, create a landing page. So if you look at it, don't create landing pages for the sake of having multiple landing pages. This is the problem that we actually had even at Demand Media, where we created everything under the sun, and we were publishing thousands of articles a day on every single thing, every single variation that you could think of. What Google largely wants today, and the way that Google's algorithms have changed, is that they understand concepts and topics as a group. So if all these things can roll up into one particular topic, then make only one landing page. But you also have to consider what you would type into the search engines to get there, and are you finding it immediately? So if I've got a page about all kinds of aspects of my product, and it's a really, really long page, which seems to be more of a trend today, if a person is searching for something way down here and they can't discover that it is way down there, they're never going to get to it. They're going to bounce, they're going to go back to Google, they're going to find something else. So that might be a case where you want to break that kind of thing up. But it really will depend on the type of content that you have, as well as how rich and how deep you want to go.
You need to think from an SEO standpoint. Think of every page on your site as a landing page, right? Or at least every page that you are allowing to be crawled and you want indexed, right? Anything can be a front door. So always have that in the back of your mind. And so you think about if a user, I did all this work and I got a new person on this page, make sure that they're not overwhelmed. They can understand where they arrived, what it is you do, what it is your product's all about, or your service is all about, right? And that if there's a certain place that you want to funnel people to, there's some relatively easy way for them to get there, right? So that's really important, is to think of all your pages as a front door, and make sure that you're providing a good experience on that, no matter what page somebody lands on.
Great point, thank you.
I have something else to add to that too. I think Eric also introduced a very good idea in terms of landing pages. And indeed, I agree that every page can be a landing page when it comes to SEO, because any place is the entry point. I think more than anything, Google is looking for content that's useful, right? And they're going to rank that content over any other piece of content that's not useful to the users. And so what we're talking about is not creating landing pages. Again, to reiterate what Eric said, just to create landing pages, we're talking about creating landing pages that include, say, like a particular target keyword, but also related keywords that people might also search for. So yes, when you're doing your keyword research, also be cognizant of what that particular audience is going to search for after that, and create content that includes that set of keywords. And so what we're talking about is not necessarily creating one page per keyword, but we're creating maybe less pages for more keywords, and those keywords are somehow related to a particular product or your business or something like that. And in that way, it's useful. And I don't think we've said I'm going to drop a buzzword, Hummingbird. Hummingbird was an algorithm that changed a lot for Google. And we hear about some of these other ones, and they've changed maybe 2 to 3, maybe sometimes up to 10% of the overall search landscape. But Hummingbird is important because it changed 97% of all search, right? Which is huge. And this happened a couple years ago. And what's important about it is that it allows Google to understand the intent of queries. It allows Google to understand the entire query and not just parse out the keywords like it did maybe 3, 4, 5 years ago. So that's really important. And those ideas are very much connected in terms of trying to decipher why people are searching what they're searching for, and creating content around that that's useful, right, on the site.